Here I am on a nice Sunday afternoon, hoping to check out a grass strip I found in upstate New York. Problem is, even though visibility is good on the ground, we're having a lot of smoke from Canada coming up and obscuring our visibility. Let's see what the haze is like up here. It's pretty hazy. I'll tell you that already. In fact, it's getting worse. Yeah, I'm not going some airport I've never been to before, that's for sure. Yeah, Northampton traffic, Cessna 94513, left downwind 14. I'll be departing a pattern to the northeast, Northampton. No cross-country flights today. I'm staying at low altitude. I'm at 2,000 feet. I can see the ground just fine. And I'm going to just return to the pattern and do some touch and goes. It's not a great day for cross-country. So, unfortunately, here's my face, but I discovered some new features on Foreflight online that have been updated. And so I thought I'd combine it with my latest flight video to show how you can analyze your flight afterwards. And so let me minimize my window here, ignore the red button. That's because I'm too cheap to use real software. Here I am in the Foreflight online edition, and I'm going to log in as me. And over here you can see that one of the options is track logs right over here. And when I click on that, this used to look exactly like track logs on your phone. It was just like an outline of your flight, and you can kind of scroll through it, but it's now different. It's in different colors. If you look down the bottom, it gives me a flight score, and it totals up down here that I did 7 landings. So that's kind of interesting. And what is a flight score? And it has my aircraft, 94513, which it knows is a Cessna 152. So if I click debrief, this is new. So the background is, there used to be an app called Cloud Ahoy. And I remember that the guy from Flight Shops used to always promote Cloud. He was sponsored by Cloud Ahoy. I'm sponsored by nobody. So Cloud Ahoy still exists. It's a separate software that you can subscribe to. But you see it's now owned by Foreflight. And clearly Foreflight has taken some of this technology and incorporated it into the Foreflight app. So back to this flight that I did earlier this month. I'm going to click on the debrief. What you have here in the bottom is the entire flight with this slide bar. And as I slide it, you can see the aircraft up here actually flies my mission. Okay. It also, as you move, if you look in this area, it's showing your altitudes and airspeeds. But what's new, you already could do that before, but what you can do now is it actually rates you. So if I click on, see this here over here where it says descent to 7 Bravo 2 runway 14, it gave me an 87. Wah, wah. You want to be over 90, I think, most of the time. It's a landing, and if you click on that, it zooms in a little bit. And what you have down here is it gives you the score. Sorry, I need my reading glasses. And what you have here is indicated airspeed between 500 and 50. And I got 100% there, so I stayed within those parameters. It was my indicated airspeed constant or consistent, and it only gave me a 79, so I must have gone too fast or too slow at some point. How about my sync rate? And I think I actually did a slip on that landing, which is probably what it's detecting as a high sync rate. And then did I stay on center line? So let's go back to over here. So in a weird thing, I did a 360 maneuver here, and I'll show you in the video from in the airplane. I was coming in to enter the 45. There was a plane on the downwind, but there was another plane on the crosswind. So I did the 360 to come in behind both of those planes. It gave me a 76, and I wasn't trying to do a textbook 360, and so my entry altitude maintained 75. So I think if I look here, I can see that I climbed as I went through the maneuver. My airspeed was good. Same heading on entry and exit. Well, that was bad. I wasn't trying to do a textbook 360. I was just lining up to get onto the runway. And was my bank angle maintained? It says 100, but I don't think it even detected that. I think I needed additional hardware in my plane to be able to detect my bank angle.
Northampton traffic, Cessna 94513 on the 45 for 14, and I have the downwind traffic in sight, Northampton. Fuel, mixture, carby.
Crosswind for runway 14, Northampton.
Northampton traffic, Cessna 94513. I'm going to do a 360. I'll come behind the traffic that's currently on the crosswind, Northampton.
And Northern traffic order 2 turn around, says turning left downwind for 14. We've got a 94513 in sight. Thanks for making that right 360. Appreciate it.
Northampton traffic, Cessna 94513, left downwind 14, touch and go, Northampton.
Go back here. I just want to show one more thing. My next landing was actually a Poweroff 180, which I'll show the video for. We'll end with a clip of my Poweroff 180. There we go. And you can see that it gave me a pretty decent score. It gave me a 100. So my airspeeds were in the box. My sync rate was within the box. I was very consistent with my sync rate. I landed right on the center line in my touchdown. So it gave me all the score. So anyways, as you're flying with Foreflight, as long as you are recording a track log, which you can do on your phone or your tablet, you can now, this is not on the phone or on the tablet, it appears to be on just the web version, but if you log in, you can kind of automatically go through and debrief your flight and really get a good sense for your landing. So now that I know this exists, I'm going to practice maneuvers and actually see how I rate myself. And I can even ask myself,
allow myself to introduce myself.
What would I give myself for this score on this short field landing? And then I can go in Foreflight and see what the AI gave me for a score.
Northampton traffic, Cessna 513, simulated Poweroff 180, runway 14, Northampton.
All right, that's it. So I hope you appreciated my attempt at doing some desktop computer recording here, and mix it in with a rather boring flight that I did on a smoky day. But I think this is a really good tool, and I think a lot of people miss it because they only think of Foreflight as, being on your phone or your tablet. And there's a lot of features being incorporated into the desktop or the online version of Foreflight that can really be a useful tool. So see you next time. Hope to do some more interesting flights soon.